gonna work. But I'm used to doing my nails without the drill. Shit. Just as the other sometimes. I gotta get the power from me. This little battery cord shit. Waste of money. Although I've been got my money back already. Got a pack for it. Now the damn drill broke. But I got a lot of drill bits. Like a motherfucker. I'm buying a little cheap shit. Get back up again. Oh, I'm trying to put everything away before I start this. Hey, how y'all doing? Get back up again. Where am I here? I said that's clean.
Take your bra off and switch to this one now. This bra lifts your bust like no other. From this to this.
I ain't finna keep playing. Did it, I'd be in jail, stupid. Nobody never said they was in no A, no none of that. I was just on live down here. If I did it, them phones gon' ping. I got 3 phones tell my direct location, where I was, where y'all know how the police play. If I somebody, they want these phones on all that. Stop playing me, I ain't no Ricky to this. Did what? How the girl still outside 45 minutes, they gonna be still sitting outside for trying to messages, see what the girl's saying. That's what they doing. Man, somebody called that girl outside. She got all that, put my name in it. Doing all that, talking about a bando in about a project. Well, you know how far I was? You know where I stayed at last night? Every time I go to sleep, y'all playing, I'm trying to get, you feel me? Just chill, man. Stop bringing me up on live internet. If I did something, the police will have me in handcuffs.
Birmingham police asking for your help to find whoever shot and killed this young woman, Mia Nixon, back in January. Investigators say her family is hurting and pushing for justice in her case.
Our Tristan Rupert is live at 5 and on your side, talking with investigators about this case. Tristan, what can you tell us?
Police believe Mia Nixon was targeted, actually, and they say community help could be critical in them solving this case. I spoke with Birmingham police officer Truman Fitzgerald earlier today. He says detectives have looked into every single lead they could really concerning this case, and that a tip from the community could be critical in really cracking it wide open. Now, Officer Fitzgerald says
Yeah,
Nixon
good,
was
good
beloved,
spirit.
talented, and really excelling in the hair and nail field. He says Birmingham police won't stop searching for the person responsible for her death and stresses no matter the information, you need to come forward if you know something.
Nothing's too small. We know the streets are talking. We know Mia was extremely popular,
Not the
but our
spirit.
detectives need that information. So anything you have, please call that into Crime Stoppers.
On January 10th, 2024, 21-year-old Mia Nixon, who the streets of Birmingham, Alabama called the Setup Queen, went live on Facebook and had a very public argument with a man known as Youngster. About 30 minutes later, while she was still sitting in the driveway of her family's home, at around 1 in the morning, police received a 911 call. By the time they got to her, it was already too late. Everyone assumed it was probably the guy from that live video. But as the investigation unfolded, it became clear that Mia's case was just one thread in something far bigger than anyone expected. So why was she called a setup queen? And why was she targeted? Before we get into it, leave a like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Crime on Pulse so you won't miss the next case. Born on October 19, 2002, Mia Chardell Nixon spent most of her life in Birmingham's Crestwood neighborhood. She was active online, talking about her life, sharing her personality, connecting with people the way a lot of young women her age did. Mia built a career as a nail technician and hairstylist and was genuinely skilled at what she did, so her clients came back and referred others. The goal she talked about openly was running her own salon one day, and she was putting in the work to get there. But there was something else people noticed around Mia. High-end items, jewelry, and photos that showed large amounts of cash. For someone her age, building a hair and nail business from scratch, that combination raised eyebrows. The nickname that stuck to her was the Birmingham Setup Queen. The whisper around her name was that she had a habit of getting close to men and putting them in harm's way. Whether there was truth to it or not, that reputation followed her, and it became part of how people talked about her. On December 2nd, 2022, Mia was stopped at a red light. She had two men in the car with her, one she'd known for about a year, and his friend. While they sat at that light, the car got struck. Mia was injured, and one of the men with her didn't make it. She came out of it with lasting damage, hearing loss on her right side and vision loss in her right eye. Her doctors told her things could have gone much worse. What followed was months of rehabilitation, relearning how to get through basic daily tasks that most people never think twice about. A year later, on December 2nd, 2023, she went online and talked about that night.
Okay, this is story time about how I got shot over there. So I was talking to this boy. We was talking for like a couple months over there. So he used to always be in my car, like ride around in my car. We used to always be together, riding around, stuff like that. So this day he told me to follow this dude so he can buy some pills. So we followed the dude so he could buy the pills, so we get done buying the pills. It's me, him, and his homeboy in the car. So soon as we like get to the red light, we was at the red light, like all we had to do was just turn around and boom, you at the red light from where we was. So we get to the red light. He trying to put the location in my phone so we can go to where we was finna go. So it was shooting, but I didn't think that they was like shooting like at us, because while they were shooting, they were driving up. So when they were far back, it just sounded like it was somewhere else. So when the bullets started coming through the car, that's when when the bullets started coming through the car, I hit the gas, but one of the bullets hit me. It went from the back of my head, through my ear, and across my face. So that, like, I heard a loud pop, and then, like, you know, the ringing that you hear in your ear, that's what I heard. Like, my ear just started ringing real loud, and I just blacked out. So once I blacked out, I crashed into a tree. So when I hit the tree, I went like this, like that's what woke, like, kind of let me come back to conscious. So I woke up, and instantly I just opened the door, and then his homeboy that was in the back seat, He jumped out and I got out, but I instantly fell to the ground. And he was like, Mia, get up. And I couldn't get up. Like, I don't know how long I was on the ground. Like, I just was unconscious. So that's when I just hop up. So when I hop up, I open the back door and I laid in the back seat for like 2 seconds, but then I remembered that he was in my front seat. So I jump up and I'm looking for my phone. I'm just looking for my phone. So I find his phone and I'm screaming his name. I'm like, I can't say his name, but like, I'm just screaming his name. I'm like, what's your password? What's your password? I got a call. I got the police. I'm like, what's your password? What's your password? Once, like, I kept calling him and I was trying to, like, just make sure that we all was okay. So, like, that's when I'm just screaming his name. I knew, like, once he wasn't answering me, he was gone. So, like, the people from across the street, it was a store across the street, like, the people from across the street, they come over. So I'm screaming our names. I'm just trying to let them know who he was. I'm just screaming our names, screaming our names. I'm like, please just call my mama. Please, like, just call him. And I'm going to do a part 2 on what has happened that night. So.
She described how terrifying it was. She talked about the injuries, the long road back, and how much of herself she had to rebuild.
Burning, tingling, numb, aging feet. This new 3-in-1 massager targets all the root causes.
Okay, so this part 2, they put me on where they put me in the ambulance, so they put me on the bed, put me in, I'm sure, da da da. So I'm just asking them the whole time, like, am I gonna be okay? Please just tell me, am I gonna die? I was like, am I gonna be okay? So, like, I was so swole, so, like, the pressure from everything was just making me, like, so sleepy. So I'm telling myself, I'm like, you can't go to sleep. You got to stay up. I'm like, you got to stay up, because I know once you go to sleep, that means, like, you're like, once you feel sleepy, that means you're. So, like, I'm like, I just got to stay up. So they finally rolled me in the hospital. And I just remember, like, a warm blanket coming over me, because they had cut all my clothes off, and I was just, like, completely nude. So, like, they rolled me in there, and then they just put a blanket over me. So, like, that's when I'm just going in and out of consciousness. They doing my chest like this. They just doing my chest like this. So once they started doing it, I, like, instantly just came to my senses, like, hell no, like, you gotta get this shit together. Like, I'm trying to just breathe right and just do everything right so I can stay woke and stay alert. So I was going in and out of CAT scans. I remember waking up in one CAT scan, but the accident happened at 8 p.m. I didn't leave the hospital until 6 a.m. the next morning. So as soon as I got rolled out of the hospital, all my family was there. Oh, now let me go back. They was stitching my ear up, and I remember screaming so loud. Like, I never been through nothing like that. I never broke no bones, never had to get stitches, anything. So they was stitching my ear up. I'm screaming because it hurted. Like, I thought they put you to sleep for stuff like that. So finally, it was time for me to get discharged, and they rolled me out the hospital. I see all my family, all my friends. Like, I just was so relieved. Like, I just knew, like, this is my second chance. Like, it was just unbelievable. So instantly, I'm asking what happened to the boy that I talked to. I'm asking, like, what happened to him? Is he okay? Where he at? Like, I'm just asking a million questions. Nobody wanted to tell me nothing. So finally, my friend, she just told me, she's like, Mia, he gone. I just instantly, like, broke down. Like, yeah, I instantly broke down because, like, nothing. I never lost nobody close to me. Like, we used to be together every day, like, literally eat, sleep, all that. So it was just heartbreaking. Like, this, like, how am I gonna adjust to life without being with him, type stuff like that. But about my eye, it's a black thing covering my eye. Soon it will be all the way over my eye and blocking my whole vision. And my ear, the bullet bust my eardrum, so they're gonna try to do surgery or see if they can do surgery to fix it.
That case, though, was never solved. No suspect was ever named. No arrest was ever made. It just went cold. Mia continued her business, doing hair, nails, building her client base, staying active online, going out, and living. Then on October 1st, 2023, Leeds police arrested her on serious charges. Her bond was set at $40,000. For a lot of people, her posting that bond was the loudest confirmation yet that something about Mia's life didn't add up. A 21-year-old working in the beauty industry, walking out her bond without hesitation, fed the speculation and deepened the questions. She kept showing up in Birmingham's nightlife scene, still carrying the same energy she always had. In the early hours of January 10th, 2024, Mia went on Facebook Live. A man who went by Youngster joined the broadcast, and a heated argument broke out between them.
I ain't finna say nothing else about her, but it's other going on with that little situation. Stop playing with me like that. Ain't no way this girl still in the car 45 minutes after a lie, 30 minutes after a lie. So you think this girl just sitting outside? You think she just sitting outside in the car? You saying she finna be outside her car waiting on us to pull up? That's what I'm saying. This girl got shot outside the car. And it went that many shots or nothing. That's what's up close, little personal. Somebody made that girl come back outside, man. Stop playing on me like y'all dumb. I knew. That girl had a jacket and all. Stop playing on me. Do nothing to that girl. I don't even know what this girl saying. I'm stupid talking on that. I'm just making up. Everything he said, he just making up. I don't know. That boy said, hey, twin. That boy said a bando by Gay City. He said what? We was in the bando by Gay City when we was on live this morning. Well, you know where we was? Man, you know where we was? Man, stop playing on me, man. Bring the towers out. That's what I'm saying. Tower the phones. Tower the phone, man. Tower the phones. Tower the phones, man.
This shit crazy.
Bro, I never said once I was in Atlanta. What you talking about? When I said I was in Atlanta? Who else heard me say I was in A?
It's some young ass motherfucker.
Who else heard me say I was in? Ain't no fake page comment on blood. Somebody that was on the line, who heard me say I was in? Well, I never once said I was in no Atlanta.
Now, these two weren't strangers. They ran in overlapping circles, and both were regulars in Birmingham's club scene. They had a social media presence built around the same kind of lifestyle: the parties, outings, and photos. Two people who understood the same streets, the same world, the same unwritten rules. The argument that played out on that live centered around accusations, specifically that Mia had played a role in putting people in dangerous situations. That exchange was intense. After the broadcast ended, Mia stayed in her car, parked in the driveway of her family's home on the 800 block of Greencrest Turn in Crestwood. At around 1:45 in the morning, East Precinct officers were sent to a call of a person struck by gunfire at the 800 block of Greencrest Turn.
Birmingham police asking for your help to find whoever shot and killed this young woman, Mia Nixon, back in January. Investigators say her family is hurting and pushing for justice in her case.
Our Tristan Rupert is live at 5 and on your side, talking with investigators about this case. Tristan, what can you tell us?
This is for my people who don't have time or don't know how to do their makeup. This is the easiest dummy-proof makeup hack I have ever found. You literally just swirl it, throw it where you want it, and somehow...
Police believe Mia Nixon was targeted, actually, and they say community help could be critical in them solving this case. I spoke with Birmingham police officer Truman Fitzgerald earlier today. He says detectives have looked into every single lead they could really concerning this case, and that a tip from the community could be critical in really cracking it wide open. Now, Officer Fitzgerald says Nixon was beloved, talented, and really excelling in the hair and nail field. He says Birmingham police won't stop searching for the person responsible for her death, and stresses no matter the information, you need to come forward if you know something.
Nothing's too small. We know the streets are talking. We know Mia was extremely popular, but our detectives need that information. So anything you have, please call that into Crime Stoppers.
Remember, Crime Stoppers is a fully anonymous process. No matter what your information is, they never know your identity. And if you do provide information that leads to an arrest in this case, you could be eligible for a $5,000 reward.
That's roughly a 30-minute window from when the Facebook Live ended to when police got that call. When officers arrived, they found Mia inside the car, unresponsive, with severe injuries. Birmingham Fire and Rescue responded and pronounced her gone at the scene. Other residents inside the home were unharmed. Whoever was responsible had already left. No witnesses came forward, and no obvious physical evidence was recovered at the scene. investigators made clear from the start that this was not random. Mia had been targeted. Before police had released much to the public, Youngster was already saying that he had nothing to do with it. The next day, January 11th, he posted again. He wrote that people would do anything to paint someone as the villain, and that he was done talking about it. He made clear he'd never been the type to put his hands on women or children. He said he stood on what was real, and that the truth would come out. He was never formally identified as a suspect, but because the entire argument had happened on a public broadcast, the internet had already decided who they thought was responsible. He was out there defending himself, even though no one in law enforcement had pointed at him. Meanwhile, speculation swirled online. There were reports of messages Mia received just minutes before she was found at 1:45. The timing added to theories that this had been coordinated. Everyone was convinced they knew who did it. The Facebook Live, the argument, the immediate response online, all seemed to point in one direction. Birmingham police made public appeals and asked the community to come forward with any information, no matter how small.
We know the streets are talking. We know Mia was extremely popular, but our detectives need that information. So anything you have, please call that into Crime Stoppers.
A $5,000 reward was announced for a tip that led to an arrest. Months passed with nothing. Then, on February 25th, 2025, over a year after Mia's passing, the Birmingham Police Department announced they had obtained a warrant, and a suspect had been charged. The name wasn't Youngster.
United States Secret Service, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, and Crime Stoppers for their invaluable collaboration throughout this investigation. Additionally, Damian McDaniel is charged with intentional murder in the death of Mia Nixon. She was shot and killed on January the 10th, 2024, outside of her home in the 800 block of Crest Green.
22-year-old Damian McDaniel. He was already in state custody when the charge came through, and he was held without bond. Damian's history was troubling. His father had been serving a federal sentence since 2013, with 26 years on his name. Growing up, Damian attended Fairfield High Preparatory School. In October 2019, when he was 17, he was arrested on school grounds after 2 people were hurt. In April 2023, he pleaded guilty to both counts and received a 15-year sentence. Though it was structured as 2 years to serve, the rest was suspended, followed by 3 years of probation, which wasn't revoked until December 12, 2024. By the time his name came out in connection with Mia's case, investigators had found something far larger underneath. Damian wasn't just connected to Mia's case. The Jefferson County District Attorney's Office was working through 8 separate cases against him, spanning 14 months, from July 2023 to September 2024. As more information surfaced, the scope widened.
Oh my gosh! Okay, ladies, can we talk about period leaks for a second? Because the anxiety is real. That constant checking, adjusting, worrying about stains, it's exhausting. So, I tried this reusable leak-proof graphene absorbent pad, and honestly, it's been such a game changer. First of all, it's super soft and comfortable, not bulky, not stiff. But the absorbency is next level.
Authorities connected him to incidents that left approximately 18 people gone and around 30 more injured. Some of these attacks were being investigated as potentially coordinated, with indications that certain incidents may have been paid arrangements. Among the victims connected to his cases were a Birmingham firefighter named Jordan Melton, who had been subpoenaed to testify in an unrelated trial before he lost his life in July 2023. A young couple, Angelia Webster and Chris Norris, who were expecting a baby boy they were going to name Seven. All 3 of them lost their lives on Valentine's Day, 2024. A UPS worker named Anthony Love Jr., who had given nearly 20 years to that company, was targeted in a parking lot after his shift, a mass casualty event at an unlicensed lounge in July 2024 that left 4 people gone and 10 others hurt. The victims were 56-year-old Angela Weatherspoon, 42-year-old Markeisha Gettings, 39-year-old Stevie McGee, and 24-year-old Larandis Anderson. A 61-year-old man named Charlie Moore, found by officers who had initially responded to an unrelated call nearby. And in just 2 days in September 2024, a woman found fatally injured inside a bar, followed by a mass incident at the popular 5 Points South nightlife district that claimed 4 more lives and injured 17 others. The victims were 21-year-old Anitra Holloman, 27-year-old Taj Booker, 27-year-old Carlos McCain, and 26-year-old Roderick Lynn Patterson Jr.
Damn.
They were standing outside Hush Lounge when the perpetrators pulled up in a vehicle, opened fire, and drove off. Over 100 shell casings were recovered at the scene.
The man charged in the 5 Points South mass shooting and 2 other deadly shootings in Birmingham now faces even more charges, including the mass shooting in July and another homicide in August. Here's a look at the timeline of these crimes. According to Birmingham police, 22-year-old Damian McDaniel of Bessemer is responsible for over 30% of the city's homicides from July to September.
Between July and September, Damian McDaniel is charged in 5 separate shootings. Altogether, he's accused of killing 11 people and injuring 29 others.
I feel like people like that need to be put away.
The deadly streak of crimes he's accused of started July 13th. It was at a venue ABC 3340 later discovered was unlicensed.
It's all right to make $1, but why should you make $1 you killing the neighborhood? This is my neighborhood.
The aftermath, blood on the streets, and anger and sadness in the community.
It's a shame. We got women there now.
4 people were killed, 10 others were injured at that birthday party event.
Angie, I love you. Monique, my heart goes out to you. This sad.
According to police, McDaniel didn't act alone in this deadly mass shooting. 27-year-old Hatarius Woods was also indicted in this case.
Birmingham is most definitely a safer place with these individuals behind bars.
McDaniel was also indicted for capital murder again and burglary for an incident that happened a month later. Woods is also charged in that case. It involved a stolen vehicle, a man killed in an apartment, officers firing shots at the suspect, and a chase.
Very chaotic scene.
McDaniel is also accused of killing a 35-year-old woman. Police didn't believe she was the intended target when she was shot inside 604 bar on September 19th.
We are very deeply saddened by what happened.
A few days later, 100 shots rang out on a Saturday night in 5 Points South, a popular nightlife spot.
So probably about 5 or 6 that went out on the stretcher that I saw. I'm sure it was probably more.
4 people were killed, 17 others were injured.
I had to get out of there, so I was hopping on one leg.
Less than 24 hours later, dozens of rounds went off in Eastlake, killing a man and injuring 2 others. McDaniel has already had his first court appearance for that. 4 others were also charged in connection to that incident. As for the motive behind all these deadly shootings McDaniel is accused of, police aren't laying that out on the table yet.
We most certainly are investigating some of these homicides as actual paid for hire murders.
Court records show McDaniel pleaded guilty to 2 cases of attempted murder in 2023, receiving a sentence of 15 years split, 2 years to serve, with 3 years on probation. We've reached out to the DA's office asking about McDaniel's release and what, if anything, will be done in the future to keep violent offenders behind bars.
As far as them walking the streets and all of the evidence appears that they did it, then no good.
McDaniel remains in the Jefferson County Jail with no bond.
I feel safer for the community and especially the youth.
Authorities said Damian and his associates were responsible for more than 30% of the city's violent incidents during that 14-month span. Nearly 50 families were impacted. Notably, Damian had appeared in a documentary earlier in 2024 titled The Most Dangerous Place in Alabama, where he spoke openly about violence in Birmingham and the mindset behind it.
With this, you can instantly clean dirty ovens and stubborn mold without any scrubbing. Take any dirty surface, spray over the grease or mold, and watch it literally melt away. Its patented nanonet technology even dissolves dangerous black mold in stubborn victims.
Famous and shit.
do the same thing to you, so why not do it to them? Why show them compassion when they ain't gonna show your folks no compassion? Saying he spam. Wait, for wait. They ain't gonna spare me. Yeah, wait. When they sign in a day and they come to court, they ain't gonna spare me in the courtroom. Hey, I know it.
When the arrest was announced, Birmingham's interim police chief made it clear the investigation was not finished. He stated publicly that the case doesn't stop just because someone has been charged or indicted, and that every lead was still being followed.
Some more complex type of investigations, if you will. So we're continuing to investigate that, but you could look at the possibility of conspiracy to commit murder. They can also be charged with the murder as well, in some form of conspiracy. So we are pursuing that. It's still an ongoing investigation.
There were indications that additional victims could still be linked to Damien as the work continued. Mayor Woodfin addressed the victims directly, stating that Anthony Love Jr. did not deserve to lose his life at his place of work, and that Mia Nixon did not deserve to lose her life simply by being at home.
Good morning, everyone, and I want to start by thanking Chief Michael Pickett, as well as Deputy Chief Brown of the Birmingham Police Department Investigation Bureau. I think one of the main responsibilities I have as mayor is to make sure I can provide our police department with the available resources they need to do their job. In this case, nothing's more important for our detectives having every single resource made available to them. What's happened over the last year and a half has been horrific, with one person causing so much pain in our community and taking away loved ones of families. Jordan Melton, Anthony Love Jr., and Mia Nixon. You add on the fact that Jamal Jones' life was changed as well in the most dramatic way possible. I want to extend my heartfelt appreciation for Chief Pickett, for all the detectives, and Deputy Chief Brown for not letting up, for keeping their foot all the way down on the gas pedal, and doing everything they can to bring justice to these families. I have spent countless amount of time with Miss Rochelle, Jordan's mother, Mr. Melton, his father, and their extended family. I have Chief Moon standing here. This ripped through the fire rescue service like no other thing has happened since my time as mayor. It was important to bring justice, not just to this family, but to let our firefighters know that we have their back and front, and we were not going to rest until this person was held accountable and brought to justice. But Anthony Love Jr. did not deserve to die at his place of work either. And Mia Nixon didn't deserve to die simply by being at home. Jamal Jones didn't deserve to be assaulted the way he was as well, being at his place of work. My message is very simple. To all of these victims, families, we are still in lockstep with you, not just through our prayers and thoughts, but through bringing justice. But my message is also to all those other families out there who have lost a loved one. Our detectives continue to be locked in, literally looking under every rock to bring justice and bring formal charges for those who have taken other loved ones as well in the city. As Chief Pickett said, I want to thank all the partners who made this day happen. And as mayor, we'll continue to do everything we can to make the city safer. Thank you.
On April 29th, 2025, the state filed notice that they were seeking the maximum penalty in cases where Alabama law allowed it.
Continuing coverage tonight, it's been 19 months since 2 Birmingham firefighters were shot at Fire Station 9 in Norwood.
Interim Birmingham Police Chief Michael Pickett announced today the arrest of 22-year-old Damien McDaniel in that shooting. McDaniel's been charged with capital murder and the death of Jordan Melton, and attempted murder in the shooting of Jamal Jones. McDaniel has already been charged in 2 mass shootings, and now police say he's charged in additional homicides. The death of Mia Nixon in January of 2024, and the murder for hire death of a UPS worker, Anthony Love Jr., on April 9th.
Now, new tonight, we are learning more about the legal road ahead for Damian McDaniel. CBS 42's Scott Minshaw joins us now live. You spoke with both defense and the prosecution in McDaniel's case today. Scott, what's next for this case?
I've never seen a bra that lifts like this one. I can literally pull my breasts up to the level I want, from droopy to perky in an instant. This bra's got powerful.
Well, Carly, the next thing will be the arraignments for those 3 new murder charges announced today. That brings the total up to 14 murders that McDaniel is accused of. His attorney tells me that he plans to plead not guilty to all of them. John Robbins is lead counsel for accused mass shooter Damian McDaniel.
Everybody is entitled to a fair trial and a vigorous defense.
McDaniel is accused of murdering 14 people and committing 2 mass shootings in Birmingham, which is why District Attorney Danny Carr is pursuing the death penalty. Are you seeking the death penalty in this case?
Yes.
During Tuesday's City Council meeting, Birmingham City Councilor Hunter Williams commented on the new charges.
To me, you're a terrorist, and I hope that wherever court this goes, that they seek the death penalty.
Robbins says there has been no evidence presented to support the charges against his client, but Carr says that evidence is coming.
We technically hadn't had a trial yet, so we'll see when the trial comes.
We will do our own independent investigation, but we will review and see what the state believes they have, and we will build our defense that way.
Carr says the timeline of when these cases could go to trial is still unclear.
Most of these cases will probably be tried separate, but at the end of the day, a lot of that will go to the strategy of what the rules of evidence will allow, what the rules of criminal procedure will allow as it relates to which case get tried first. Are they tried together? Are they all relevant? Are they not relevant? Those are matters that we'll decide in court at some point later on.
Well, the community, the people of Birmingham, the people of this state, the people of our country, okay, needs to take a step back and let the judicial system handle this in court.
Damian was brought from state prison to Jefferson County for arraignment on charges connected to Mia's case, Jordan Melton's case, and Anthony Love's case. He entered a not guilty plea on all counts. His attorney maintained his client's innocence throughout, suggesting that no evidence had yet been presented in court to support the allegations, and that the defense would conduct its own investigation and build their case accordingly.
That we can't get a jury that doesn't know a whole lot about this case.
And that the information that they've learned might be biased. Because it clearly doesn't include the defendant's point of view.
During Tuesday's motion hearing, Damian McDaniel's attorney raised concerns about finding a fair and impartial jury in Jefferson County. They say they're considering filing a motion to change the venue, but first they have a jury expert polling the county. The state argued a second step is needed to determine the length and depth of the potential jurors' relationships with victims and their families. The judge says she wants a fair and impartial jury, but it will get to a point that the city is empty trying to find 12 people who do not know any victim or family members at all.
It's going to be hard to find jurors that don't know one of the alleged victims in a multitude of cases. And as you could see, everybody that was here today following this, their family members on other cases, not trendsetter cases.
Before McDaniel's hearing got underway, there was an issue in the audience the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office had to break up. According to McDaniel's attorneys, McDaniel's mother was threatened in the courtroom.
Damian's mother and family continue to receive threats. Okay? That nobody reports about that. Nobody cares. The law enforcement knows about it. They don't do anything.
This case is highly emotional, but we want to make sure that everybody here is engaging in respectful conduct. Please, there are a lot of law enforcement officers here. There is a lot of security here. Please don't.
So what?
make me
Y'all
have
don't
to
do shit.
use
It's
any
up
of them to escort anybody out of here or to hold anybody in contempt of court.
With 8 separate prosecutions underway, and each likely to be tried independently, the legal process still has a long road ahead. For Mia's family, the arrest gave them something, but it also deepened the questions they were already carrying. Why was she targeted? What was the actual connection between her and Damien? Was it tied to her street reputation, to the Facebook Live argument, or to something else entirely? There's still no trial date set specifically for her case. It remains part of a much larger legal web that Birmingham authorities are still working through. Mia was 21. Jordan Melton was a firefighter, just doing his job. Anthony Love had given 20 years of his life to a company. Angelia and Chris were picking out baby names. 18 people lost their lives. 30 more were injured. And for a long time, one name was behind a significant portion of that pain, while Birmingham had no idea. The world keeps spinning, and so does crime. Stay observant, listen to your instincts, and don't ignore the warning signs. I'll see you in the next case on Crime on Pulse. Thanks for watching.
If you're over 50 and you're not dermacleaning, you're making a big mistake. You can get rid of fine lines and wrinkles and peach fuzz without painful, outdated methods or expensive procedures. Over the years, I've tested countless products, but nothing compares to Sonic Smooth. I've recommended this device.
I don't know why I can't find nothing interesting now. I need to find this shit right.
Samra was a beautiful model married to this rich doctor.
I have never had an investigation like this.
It had betrayal, lies, money.
How I feel about Samra, everybody knows it.
There was no shortage of people who could have had a motive to want Samra dead.
Our jaws dropped.
Of course you guys gonna come with me.
When you put it all together, nothing else fits here.
It blew my mind. All I could think about was what went wrong.
In America, the course of justice can be made or broken by the smallest detail. These are the cases that define American justice.
Ma'am, can I get an officer out here? There's a lady laying in the pool.
Is she awake?
No, ma'am. She's at the bottom of the pool.
You don't want to jump in and try and get her out?
Well, ma'am, she's dead.
Are you a patient now?
Ma'am, she got some kids. I don't know where the kids are. I don't know nothing.
Okay, I just need you to stay right there.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
I mean,
I'm not even trying to laugh. Ma'am, she's dead.
Golden Eagle is a
You
pretty
gotta jump in the pool, try to
upscale,
get her
prestigious
out.
neighborhood in Tallahassee, Florida. And a body being found in the pool, that's not something that we typically encounter. The Tallahassee Fire Department responded. They see the victim. She's on her back in a leopard print robe. They removed her from the pool and started doing any medical procedures they could. But she was pronounced deceased almost upon arrival at the hospital.
The 911 caller is Gerald Gardner, a maintenance man who works at the home.
Umbrella.
He tells investigators that the woman in the pool is 38-year-old Samara Frosch, a former model, married to a successful doctor, Adam Frosch. The couple has 2 young daughters, ages 10 months and 2.
Adam and the children were not at the house. So this case kind of took on 2 prongs immediately. We have to locate them, and we had to investigate a drowning. It's February in North Florida. The temperature in that pool is cold. She's also in her leopard print robe. She didn't go swimming. So how did she get there?
One team of investigators searches for Adam and the girls. Others look around the house.
You walk through this residence, everything is just extravagant.
There are statues. There are figurines.
This house had a lot of fine items in it. They weren't taken. We didn't see any signs of forced entry. So, of course, we're going to rule out any type of home invasion, or any type of burglary.
After you walk through the residence, you can enter the pool area, and the pool had a ledge, and there was a hose coiled up and then kind of draped over the ledge. Did she trip over the hose? Was it accidental? We don't know.
You see a woman's flip-flop is laying underneath a hose. You find the other flip-flop just a couple feet away, and it just didn't seem right. It just looks completely staged. And it seemed like there was foul play.
And I didn't put the shit down.
I remember the story coming across my desk that there was a death at Golden Eagle. We were just kind of surprised. Things don't happen in such a affluent community. The fact that Samra was a beautiful model married to this rich doctor made it more sensational. I had a feeling it was going to be a big story.
Those who knew Samra are stunned when the news of her death spreads through town.
I got a voicemail saying that they found her dead. It was unreal.
Like they knew she was gonna die or something.
It was heartbreaking to find out that this woman that was so, full of life, that she was dead.
You avoided it for years. The drill, the needles, the anxiety. At Nuvia Dental Implant Center, we get it. That's why we've reimagined the full mouth.
They knew something was gonna happen.
Samra was definitely a unique person. The minute you saw her, you were like, wow, where did this beautiful woman come from?
Originally from Madagascar, Samra Motasafi grew up in a simple household, modest means. At age 18, she moved to Paris, where she hoped to help support her family through a modeling career. There she fell for Adam Frosch, a podiatrist who was visiting France.
Adam's a really charismatic guy. He would just tell the most incredible stories about his life. Before he became a podiatrist, he was a bodyguard for Aerosmith.
He was in the Philippines basketball league, and he somehow was part of the patenting behind the Nike Shock.
3 years after they met, Samra married Adam, and later followed him to his hometown of Tallahassee.
From what she tells me, I think she was just so happy that they were going to start a life together. And I think Adam tried to provide a life for Samira that she had never seen before.
They were living the life. Now Samra Thrash is dead. It makes you really wonder what happened.
You gotta be sad.
Suspecting foul play, investigators begin questioning potential suspects, including the man who found Samra in the pool.
And then I looked again, there was Samira laying right there, and then I got scared. You know, when I know it was her, I got scared and took off. And I went and called the cops.
Gerald Gardner's 911 call is extremely suspicious. Dispatcher asked, will you get in the pool and get her? No, nope, not doing that. A lot of people would think, yes, what can I do to help this victim? Can I get her out of here? Can I save her life?
Ma'am, she's dead.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to touch her. I didn't go back down there. I went back down there with officers.
Gerald, he actually explains, he's like, you're not putting my DNA on her and making me a suspect in this case.
It's some high profile.
You can tell a lot by a person's voice. And in that demeanor and how Gerald explained the 911 call, he was very credible.
We were also able to obtain video footage from the gate he came through. We were able to determine he arrived at the residence 10:45, 10:50, just prior to the 911 call.
So we were able to rule Gerald out as a prime suspect in the case.
While we were talking to Gerald Gardner, he made a comment that really grabbed our attention.
He knew this family. He had been working for Samra and this family for the last 5 years. He tells us the relationship between Adam and Samra, that it wasn't what it seemed to be.
On the surface, the Frosches seemed to enjoy a spectacular life.
There were houses, vacations, there were cars.
With their wealth, Samara could give their two daughters all she never had.
I own a video production company, and when her first child was born, Samira called our office to hire someone to her and her family around to record their lives. The amount of joy she had when she was with her little girls was unmeasurable. And I think she really wanted to give them everything in life.
The couple even hosted an Egyptian-themed birthday bash when their first daughter turned 1.
It's just amazing. You have the baby is being carried out like Cleopatra on a bed.
When it comes to the mind of Samira, there is no limit.
No. But all the gold-plated birthday parties in the world couldn't hide the truth.
As time went on, you could tell that Adam and Samira were starting to fight a little bit more. And these weren't quiet battles. These were yelling and screaming matches.
We learned that this relationship was quite tumultuous. There was a few physical incidents that had both been reported to the sheriff's office by each party, actually.
The marriage deteriorated. And at the time of Samara's death, she and Adam were in the midst of a contentious divorce.
And we actually learned that she was awarded custody of the children. He's kicked out of the marital home.
There was a court order in place. Adam legally was not allowed to possess or have custody of those children.
We needed to know where these children were and where Adam was.
Police traced Adam's cell phone. And at 4 o'clock that afternoon, he and the children are found.
We are that's why she did, because he can't even have custody. At a residence he owns in Panama City, Florida.
What the fuck going on?
At that point, nobody asked Adam a question. And he goes, "Is this about my wife? Is she dead?" That was extremely suspicious. We knew she was dead, but how did he know? We arrested Adam on interference with child custody.
Right.
A couple of investigators sat down with him. He was willing to talk.
The first question is obvious. How did Adam already know about his wife's death?
And when my friend called me Kendall, they told me that's how I kind of knew.
I'm making shit up on.
Adam tells us that I heard from my friend Kendall that there was a death investigation at my house.
Adam also says he and Samara were together the night before she died.
In the hopes of trying to work things out. Yes, it was actually pretty good. Okay, well, so what happened when y'all get to the house? She started drinking champagne. Did she drink anything like that? No. How much?
Always blame it on them motherfuckers.
I would say close to a couple
This
bottles.
kind of shit had last time I drunk myself to death.
They made love.
You can't say I smoked
She's
myself
drunk,
to death. That
and then
don't
they
make
go
no
to bed.
sense. You lying.
Hello, my name is Adam Ferrari, the Chief Executive Officer of Phoenix Energy. I look forward to you joining us at our next investor webinar, where you can drill deeper into our 9 to 13% annual interest rate bond offerings and see how our company has become an emerging leader in the oil and gas industry. In 2024, Phoenix Energy rose to become the 11th most prolific oil and gas operator in the Williston Basin, one of America's top producing regions. We are now right alongside industry giants like ConocoPhillips and EOG and plan to continue rising in the rankings. Our daily production rates have risen as high as 18,000 barrels of oil per day. We've sold more than 4 million barrels, and we're just getting started. We hope to see you at our brief webinar. In less than 1 hour, you will learn more about our 9 to 13% annual interest rate bond offerings and the U.S. oil and gas sector. These Regulation D 506E bond offerings are open to accredited investors. Our team will guide you through the details of how to get started. Sign up for the webinar and start your journey with Phoenix Energy today.
They spaced out more.
Taxes was chasing updates and getting nowhere. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert, doing it all for you. While keeping you
I
in
want
the
to
loop.
finish that one. I finished a couple of them.
So you can keep chasing this feeling. Now this is Taxes.
You ran out of diamonds? Fuck nah, bitch. I mean, rhinestones, hell nah. I wanted it like a J or umbrella.
After the night,
I like it like
Samra
that.
wants to take a break.
I know.
Not
It's
feeling
kind of
well,
weird.
so he loads up the children.
Adam said he left the residence and
Make
left
it even
exit the
better when
neighborhood of
these
Golden
shit
Eagle
start
at 8
falling
o'clock in the
off
morning,
places,
traveling to
you know.
Panama City.
I put a
We
lot
corroborate that with security footage, and we knew Gerald Gardner found the victim around 10:45, 10:50 a.m.
Don't mean shit.
Was she alive when Adam left, or not?
Some of them stay strong, but it's
Detectives
always
are
like
hoping
one or
the
two pop
autopsy
off.
can answer a critical
Always.
question. What time did Samra die?
That's why I don't matter.
Meanwhile, they make other observations during the interview.
One of the things that stood out to me was Adam had a scratch under his eye.
When asked where he got the scratch, he said from his 10-month-old daughter. This raises a huge flag because I don't know many young children that have nails that can produce the scratch that Adam had.
Gray and black.
Adam also seems to know specific details about his wife's death.
I know. And yellow.
Word that she may have tripped on the
That cute.
water hose that was
I might
out
get
there
more
or
compliments
something.
now because I got color.
Listening to Adam's interview, he tells you, I hope she didn't trip over the hose. How did you know that this looked like somebody tripped and fell into the pool? Why would you even bring that up?
Something wasn't adding up.
Yeah, you doing too much.
2 days later, a witness comes forward with new information.
This changes everything. Puts a huge spin on it.
Well, in regards to the incident,
A couple days into the investigation, one of the neighbors in Golden Eagle came to the sheriff's office to provide information.
the news was that a body was found in a swimming pool. And then as I started to read into it more,
The neighbor says he and his stepdaughter walked past the Frosh's house on the morning of Samra's death.
But I ain't know it.
also had like 10 to 12 cars always parked in their yard.
They recognized residents because there's always a bunch of cars in the driveway. It's kind of the neighborhood eyesore.
We
Now
saw
I gotta
a
do my
lady
toes. Oh my
in the yard
god.
going into a vehicle kind of by the passenger side. A dark SUV, four-door. And I feel like she was wearing red pants and a white shirt.
This neighbor describes a woman fitting Samra's build.
Walking past the house, probably at between 10:25, I'm gonna guess between 10:45 a.m.
We have Adam leaving Golden Eagle pretty much on point at about 8 o'clock. So this was after Adam had left.
According to the neighbor, we either had Samra alive after Adam has left, or we have an unknown black female suspect that we need to find.
Detectives interview friends and family to find out who this mystery woman might be. That's when they learn Samra was hardly the only woman in Adam's life.
We learn Adam has had 3 wives. Samra was wife number 3.
When Adam met Samra, they fell immediately in love. But he was actually married.
Adam is a serial cheater, and that is putting it lightly. Everywhere Adam went, he had a female that he could call bluff. Most of them were exotic dancers. Some were strictly call girls.
Adam had always said he wasn't going to cheat anymore, but Samira started to get some suspicions. Adam wasn't around as much, and we stopped working together. It was sad for me to see this once vibrant, happy, just person that was loving life. You could see that was starting to change inside of her.
The affairs are a big reason Samra filed for divorce.
To file for divorce in a country where you don't know many people, all by yourself, that's really rough.
What was interesting is many of these women looked very similar to Samra.
So it makes you wonder, is it possible maybe the neighbor saw one of the other women instead of Samra in the driveway?
So we have to track down each one of these women,
got
talk to them, and get their side of the story.
Oh, he got a cover.
One of the women is exotic dancer Erica Tidwell.
We found out from phone records and testimony that Samra had learned out about these other women. and particularly Erica Tidwell.
Investigators learned that Adam was paying Erica Tidwell's bill at a local hotel in Tallahassee. Samara found out and pulled the plug.
Samara has essentially taken one of Erica's lifelines away with Adam, and there's a pretty easy motive right there.
Erica comes in to talk, but it's not what she says that gets their attention.
This is someone that matched a description of Samara kind of to the T, and we have this neighbor saying that he saw a female matching the description of Samara.
I feel like she was wearing red pants.
I go to interview Erica Tidwell, and she comes into the interview room wearing red pants.
Let me ask you a question. You know anything about his lost death? Seriously. Just about as real as we can get right now.
Yes, I swear on my life. I don't know anything about it.
We asked her where she was. She did not have an alibi.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creator.
Detectives keep Erica on their list and look into other women in Adam's life.
We were able to actually locate a second girlfriend named Shakita.
Here's somebody that also fit the description of Samara. The motive for Shakita was, again, that Adam was a cash cow.
Shakita liked money, she liked extravagant things.
They trying to say they all
I was in Dubai, but when we go through her cell phone
women.
records, they go
Dark-skinned
blank.
women.
They literally go off the
But they do
grid
not look
around
alike.
the time of the homicide.
Somebody they all
Is this our suspect?
bitch.
Police also
He
tracked
loves
down
some
an
black women, that's what they would say.
Martha Moore.
We learned that Adam had a child with Martha.
Oh my God,
She would have a motive as well.
Martha says Adam had gotten her pregnant right before he married Samara. Samara found out about Adam's affair, the child, and the money he later gave Martha every month.
I have a kid by this guy.
Absolutely.
This guy takes care of me and my child.
Absolutely.
So of course you guys gonna come after
Absolutely.
me. Of course.
So you got a lot to lose should something happen to that guy.
Each of Adam's female friends had a motive when Samara put the stop to it. Adam was a money train.
Detectives attempt to verify each of the women's stories.
Martha's phone records took her right out of town. With Shakita, we were able to confirm it with documentation that Shakita was out of the country, which explains the cell phone going off the grid as well. And Erica, her husband, assisted us with alibying her. They were back together, and he recalled her being home.
The fact that she comes into the interview room wearing red pants. Coincidence? That's what it ended up being. So at this point in the investigation, we rule out these potential suspects, and then of course there's another one that pops up, and that's Kendall Lindsay. Kendall is a trusted friend of Adam's, like a wingman. Adam's got the money, Kendall's kind of got the float, and when Adam wants to go out of town or spend his money, Kendall's usually with him.
According to Adam, it was Kendall who told him about Samara's death before police located him.
That was suspicious. Kendall should not have known that there was a death investigation.
Oh, he did.
We also learned that Kendall and Samara did not get along. Samara thought Kendall was responsible for Adam's infidelity. Not the case. Adam was responsible for his own infidelity, but Samara blamed Kendall for all of it.
Samara even tried cutting Kendall out of her husband's life.
The social life that Kendall grew to know was terminated. There's no more Miami. There's no more Las Vegas. That life is over. You want a motive? I think you have one.
Why you want me, yo?
Kendall comes in to talk to police, and they're curious. How did he know about Samara's death so early on?
About almost the time I got ready to leave, but that's when I actually found out.
He tells us, I heard from a police buddy that there was an investigation at the scene.
Kendall also paints a picture for us that Samra is this hot and cold person. She is not evenly tempered.
Okay,
At this point, Kendall makes an astonishing statement.
Her jaw's dropped. Maybe we are sitting here with the right person.
Kendall Lindsay's interview with the police makes them wonder just how deep his resentment towards Samara Frosch ran.
I joked about this morning. I said, if it was me, they would have to be looking for a killer because my hand would be still wrapped around her neck like that right there. And that's the truth.
When somebody looks at you and tells you, yeah, if I did this, you'd have found me at the bottom of the pool with my hand still around her neck, you're kind of taken aback.
How I feel about Samara, everybody knows it.
You listen to Kendall and you think, man, this guy doesn't like her. This guy has a motive to do it.
So next morning, you're at the house.
I'm happy she did, but I don't know if he did it.
He was definitely high on the list of suspects, but we ended up alibying Kendall with work records, employment records.
I'm just a guy
He was
who
at
get
work.
the raw truth from him, man.
He said he understood why somebody could kill her because the temper and how she was, but Kendall was ruled out.
Yeah.
And now we're back to square one.
In the wake of Samara's death, relatives take in the Frosch's two daughters.
Take your bra off and switch to this one now.
Well, who she
This
was
bra
fucking with?
lifts your bust like no other. From this to
If you
this
was fucking around
in
with
1
me, they was
second.
fucking
Low
around
lift, mid.
That was
4 days after he's arrested for violating the child custody order by taking the girls to Panama City, Adam posts bond and is released from jail. He gets out in time to make funeral arrangements for his wife.
Samira's whole family is overseas. I don't think any of them were able to be there for the memorial. And I did see Adam in the front
These
seat,
bitches should last
head down,
all year.
just in reflective self-thought.
Literally.
It was really
Refill
sad
after
to be
refill.
there
So far, this like the
and
first
see
refill.
how few people really were there to
This one
celebrate her
broke.
life.
That's why I did them thicker. It's the only one that just clipped.
During all of
They
this,
should've
the
clipped
investigation's happening and there's still no answer.
So none of
It
these
was
bitches should
really
clip.
frustrating to me. I was really questioning, like, are they ever going to get
They like they
to the
fresh out
bottom
the
of
water.
this?
They're like an animal, a sea animal.
Prosecutors join
I
police
love
in
how one
reviewing the
hand
evidence,
bluer than the other.
and one discovery in particular stands out.
We learned of a cell phone that was located in a diaper bag that traveled with Adam to
I
Panama
love
City.
these.
After reviewing that cell
Gotta
phone,
be
we
swimming in
learned
that
of a
moolah,
voicemail where Adam's driving to Panama
Let me
City.
get that, let me get that.
He's trying to
Let me
call
get that.
his ex-wife. Hey, haven't heard from you. How are you doing? Hope you're
Blue,
okay.
green, and yellow.
When
You
I
can
heard the
barely
phone
see
messages from Adam Frosch,
What
that
is
struck
that?
me as highly suspicious. At the time he left those messages, he was aware of his wife's death through that phone call from his friend.
And why would he need to check in on her if he had just seen
I
her
do
like
agree.
2 hours prior and everything was fine?
You're thinking, is this Adam genuinely concerned about his wife? Or is this somebody laying the groundwork for an alibi?
Then, 3 weeks after Samara's death, the medical examiner completes her report.
The autopsy confirmed what we believed. This was a homicide. The autopsy also gave us more evidence to try to figure out what happened.
There was
I
blunt
wanna
force
hit my head
trauma
down
to
so
both sides of
bad,
her
man. It
head,
ain't long
consistent
enough.
with her
Gotta get
being
it
hit with
long so I can
something
wear it.
and then falling and hitting a flat, hard surface.
But the blunt force trauma suffered would not have caused immediate death. There was water in her lungs, which suggests that she drowned.
This would indicate the victim was alive until she was placed in the pool.
They drowned her in the
Then we get to the toxicology section.
For Newland, one detail is especially striking.
There's no alcohol in her system. You flash back real quick and you go, wait a minute. Adam said something different.
How much do you think she had to drink?
Close to a couple bottles of champagne.
Another thing we learned from the medical examiner's report is that under Samara's fingernails was Adam's
skin.
DNA.
Detectives had spotted a scratch under
fight
Adam's
his
eye that he blamed on his 10-month-old daughter.
Once we found that there was DNA under Samra Frosh's fingernails, it certainly seemed to add up that she had scratched him.
Put everything together, Adam is the prime suspect. We felt we had the right person.
There's one crucial question the autopsy can't answer.
Those findings did not include a time of death. That's because the temperature of the pool, it was quite cold, interfered with the decomposition of the body in such a way that the experts were not able to determine how long it had been since she'd been murdered.
The uncertain time of death is a problem for investigators, especially since a neighbor claims he saw someone resembling Samra around 10:30 on the morning of the murder.
Adam Frosh was exiting the neighborhood at 8 a.m. sharp. So if we had had the time of death established as pre-8 a.m., then we could have definitively proved that the neighbor was incorrect.
We saw a lady.
It wasn't until a neighbor came up and said, I think I saw somebody at that house, that the case took another turn. Maybe the neighbor had the day wrong.
That's something that's very common in criminal cases and in life, that people misremember days, they are mistaken. They don't mean anything wrong by it.
As the team continues to build their case against Adam Frosh, they get unexpected news.
I get a call one day from the FBI that Mr. Frosh's office has been searched.
Adam found himself under a secondary investigation, totally separate from ours.
Dr. Adam Frosh is a man in a lot of trouble. He's the prime suspect in his wife's murder, and he's neck deep in a fraud case.
As we were investigating our homicide, there was a federal investigation into several $1 million worth of fraud.
Authorities suspect that Adam has been funding his lavish life with fraudulent Medicare claims.
Doctors make a lot of money, but to have that many cars and the different houses, he has to be doing something else.
When I found out about the Medicare fraud situation, I was like, bingo. That's where all the funding came from.
The feds don't end up pressing charges due to the murder investigation, where Adam's finances have also piqued the interest of detectives.
I think money was definitely a motivator for Adam. He had lots of assets. He had previous marriages. He paid a lot of money.
Got these from Whole Foods. I hope they're good. So, as fucked up as I can't wash my hands out now. So, gotta get a little fuck. Nothing is fucked up. They don't come closed, like taped up. It just can't open it. I mean, you just gotta unpop the shit. But I got them because they minis. Right. I don't eat no whole thing. The good part is trying to find a small one. I still break that in half. The good part is that ain't bad. Oh, they don't come with no cup thing at the bottom. Like that, they stuck in there, try. They don't come with no, cup. What do I call a cupcake? Cause it come in a cup. Hell no. But yeah, I said they just sat in there. Yeah. It'd be a waste of time for them little ass mini goddamn cups. They ain't bad. See how long they last though. I'm gonna take a couple of work. Hopefully they close. Sure. I'm gonna call the bugs. Can I make some natural ass shit, but I don't. I don't know if gluten free didn't have that party. I didn't even check. That was alright though. When I seen, I think it's something gum, accent gum. That shit is in food and body wash. I think it's in Dove. I was like, damn. Y'all can't do without this shit. Shit, every motherfucker love. How we eat it and bathe with it. I don't know what it is. They say the more water you drink, the better seed you are. Must be the water I'm drinking. Put that in. Alright, y'all. Later. Night night. Have some sweet dreams. Later.